Now let me introduce you to Andrew Snyder, Senior Editor of Breakaway Investor. Andrew, for those viewers not completely familiar with Breakaway Investor, can you give us an idea of the kind of stocks you look for?
Sure. I'm always looking for something, a little-known company that's has a big-time opportunity. I look for things like insider ownership. I like companies where the CEO or the board of directors has a large stake in the company. I look for things like a growing market share. I love a well-known brand that is taking charge of an industry that's about to take off. The number one thing I care about is that it's a small, little-known industry that's about to take off big time.
So, Andy, give us an idea of some of your top performers. What have you recommended in the past to your readers?
Recently, a couple good ones have been Motorola, Cisco. Motorola were up about 30%, Cisco 20%. There's a little-known company called Digital Generations. We recommended it early July. We're up about 80–90% on that. So we're doing really well.
What is digital? What is the company again?
That's Digital Generations. That's an online marketing firm. They sell online advertising. They do radio spots, TV spots as well.
So what you're ultimately trying to do is find a company that's going to turn into an industry leader, correct?
That's correct. I want the company that has the big market share now, that's getting the lion's share of orders, and it's going to take off as the industry takes off.
So can you give us an idea of the companies that you're currently recommending?
All right. One of the biggest, the quickest growing industries right now across the globe is gambling, and especially the slot machine subsector. Anybody that has anything to do with slot machines, especially here in the United States, is going to do well. One of the companies I've been keeping my eye on is Bally Technology. In my home state of Pennsylvania, earlier this week, they opened the door to 61,000 brand new slot machines, and Bally has gotten over half the orders. So they definitely have the market share there, and this industry is going to take off. So they're going to do really well. So
Bally Technologies is supplying the slot machines. Is this correct?
That's correct. They're the slot machine manufacturer and the designer.
Now, Andy, isn't this advocating gambling?
It's not really advocating gambling. It's advocating making money off of gambling, but it's no different than investing in Budweiser, Remington, or Ruger, one of those guys. Investing in these vice-type companies isn't for everybody, but if it makes you feel better, you can donate your profits to a charity. There's going to be plenty of them.
Now, you mentioned that in your home state they were going to make this legal, but isn't the growth of Bally Technologies contingent on more states legalizing slots machines? Oh,
it certainly is, and there's no doubt that more states are going to do it. Here's the figures. There's across the nation, there's, I think, 48 states in the last few years have had budget shortfalls. In total, it adds up to about $40 billion. And just so happens to be the slot machine industry is worth about $41 billion. So the tax revenues aren't going to be all $41 billion for sure. But the tax revenues, the legislators, the governors are really looking towards slots as a way to boost revenues.
So let's just put some investors at ease because we're talking about a subject of gambling. What are the states doing with the money that they're getting from this?
Well, there's all sorts of great things to do with the money. Not only does it create thousands of new jobs and serve as a boost to the local economy, but like Pennsylvania, they're donating or earmarking the money to healthcare, education. It'll bring the state of Pennsylvania over $100 million per year. So it's definitely doing great things for the state.
Do you think that this is a natural evolution of racetracks to slot machines?
It certainly is. A lot of the racetracks, you have the horse racing tracks. It's kind of an antiquated business model. You have the grumpy old men. The racetracks, they're pushing the grumpy old men to the back and making room for the blue-haired bingo crowd. They're building brand new slot parlors. It's big money, big revenues. More people than ever than interested in slots, and it's a perfect spot. In Pennsylvania, the racetracks are open up to the slots, and that's where the money's going to be.
And you see this happening across the U.S., that more states are going to turn in this direction?
It's certainly a big thing. Right now, a handful of states are actually doing it, even more, looking at it. Within 5 years, everybody's going to be wanting to do this. The revenues, the tax revenues are just undeniable, and no legislature that's facing a budget shortfall can turn down that kind of money.
Now, Bally's Technology, they can't be the only company that's going to benefit from this trend, right? There's got to be other companies doing the same thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of other companies out there. Bally's, I like them because they're the ones getting, like I said, the lion's share of the profits. There's other companies like Harrah's, Penn National is doing well. One of the direct competitors is International Game Technology, but Bally's is definitely the winner. Its share price is about $17.50 right now, 25 is doable. 35 isn't out of the picture.
Wow, that's an impressive gain. So this is your #1 buy right now, Bailey Technologies. And you see this becoming the industry leader.
It already is the industry leader. As this industry blows up, this guy is going to be huge.
So how can we get more information? Can you tell investors how we get more information on the subject?
The easiest way is to go to breakawayinvestor.com. Everything's there. You can read more about the breakaway theory and all of our picks.
Great. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Our list of recommendations is growing, and we're still not done. Don't worry if you didn't write these down. You can replay this show or go to taipanfinancialnews.com to get the details.